More than two-thirds of the US go to the movie to see a brand new movie, a sequel, or a remake. And while you'll definitely have your own opinion on the movie, what makes it successful in the grand scheme of things? The quality or the quantity? Let's back up, way back to the 1930s, where the movie industry was way different. Movies like Dracula and Frankenstein met the critical acclaim, being praised for their fantastic qualities like their acting, story, and overall atmosphere, made these films being hailed as perfect movies, earning a large sum of money respectfully, and Universal Studios, who made both Dracula and Frankenstein, releasing a whole slew of other movies before releasing any form of sequels to either Dracula or Frankenstein, it was clear that they were more worried about making quality films than a franchise. And while sequels are nothing new to the movie genre, they've been part of the genre as long as there has been movies. The difference is now, sequels are just part of the deal, rather than an afterthought. Which now brings me to my point. Whether a movie is good or not is no longer based on the quality of the initial movie, but rather how many sequels, or in some cases, prequels, could be pumped out of it. Almost all big movies are being made with that in mind. If a movie makes a good amount of money at the box office, it'll probably have a sequel or two, making it a trilogy. Trilogies are becoming far more common in more recent years. Sometimes a movie will be in the middle of production, and the studio will be already be in talks of making a sequel. An example would be the Assassin's Creed movie, based on a video game series of the same name, being in the middle of production, but yet talks are already being made for a sequel. The idea of already talking about a sequel while the first movie is in the middle of production has become far more frequent in more recent years, and it is also known to backfire. Two examples would be the most recent Fantastic Four movie and Terminator Genisys. Both movies had planned sequels ahead, but after they bombed at the box office, both franchises were put on ice for an indefinite amount of time. But sequels are now just part of a bigger, more grand idea that is a more recent development in the movie industry, a cinematic universe. The idea is simple. A bunch of different characters that have their own movies all coexist in one universe. It's an idea that has been bouncing around since the early 2000s. However, studios weren't trying to piece together a universe like that, most likely in doubt that it would work. This changed after the release of Marvel Studios' Iron Man in 2008. With the outstanding success of Iron Man, Marvel Studio was able to introduce Thor, Captain America, and reintroduce the Hulk all in their own movies. They also added the characters Hawkeye and Black Widow in some of their early movies as supporting characters. All this would eventually all lead up to the 2012 movie event, The Avengers. We saw all of those characters come together in one big movie event. And while Marvel Studios is still releasing movies on a regular basis, other companies are jumping on it. Legendary Entertainment, the studio that developed Godzilla, has greenlit a sequel, making a new King Kong movie that they released date of March 2017, and you might have guessed it, a big crossover called Godzilla vs. Kong, set for 2020. Another example is DC Entertainment, who plans to make their own slew of superhero movies. But after the poor release of Batman vs. Superman, rumors are that DC Entertainment has gotten a bit of cold feet and may release fewer movies than originally intended. Finally, it's important to understand that the audience is the driving force of the whole change. Why, you may ask? The answer is simple. We want bigger, more exciting, and just in general, more. We are no longer content with just a standalone film anymore. If it's good, we want to see more. If it's bad, we'll shoot it down faster than you can blink. If the audience thinks character A should fight character B, the studio will do everything in their power to make them fight. If characters A, B, C, and D all live in the same place, you want to see them all team up. We've been given a taste of what they can do, and now the floodgates are open, there's no going back.